Hello everyone and welcome to another Hallow Caesar review. Today I'm reviewing Tower of Madness, designed by Kurt Covert and published by Smirk and Dagger Games. And it is a game for 3 to 5 players. And I think if you enjoyed the old classic game Kerplunk in your childhood, but are looking for something maybe with a little more meat to it, I think this may be the game for you. Now, in Tower of Madness, you can see here that comes in the box this really cool clock tower and base that it sets in, and then all of these really cool green tentacle pieces. They call them horrors. As far as game setup goes, you will put the tower together here. This little roof is this kind of a thin cardboard, and then the tower is made of a thicker cardboard, and it's hinged there so that it will close, and a little magnet strip on both the roof and the tower itself that help keep it closed. Now you can't see the marbles, but they're, well, I guess again, we can take a little sneak peek in here, shall we? So if you, let's see, there we go. So you can see that I have filled the tower with marbles, trying to do that randomly, right, and not paying attention at all to what's shown in there. Let's get this back on there. So a really, really cool table presence here from the Tower of Madness with this really cool tower. And we have the plastic base to catch the marbles as they come out here. So throughout the game, what we're going to do as far as player setup, you can see the components here. The box is pretty decent size. Everything fits well in there. The tower comes apart, folds down nicely. So everything fits in the box very nicely. These player boards here, they're warped just a little bit, but doesn't really impact the functionality of them at all. We have 5 dice. The dice have had a history of coming a little film. There's like a film on top of them that make them feel a little strange or a little sticky. But I was able to clean them off with some soap and water and just scrubbing those for a little bit. So just be aware of that. But the dice are actually very good quality once you get that film off, if it did come with that film. So just be aware of that. It does come off. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to help you out with that. There's some cardboard tokens here that you can acquire, unnatural influence tokens that can help you throughout the game. And there are 5 different roll cards here that you can choose from that don't have a listed ability. And then there are roll cards that do have special abilities associated with those. So pretty cool that they have offered that and included that in the game. There's also a start token to keep track of the starting player for each round. So to start the game, everyone's going to choose one of the players. Again, if you're not playing with abilities, it doesn't really matter too much. It's just a reminder card here that if you roll 2 5s on a single roll, you're able to claim one of these tokens for the round. So that's how you acquire those. And so it's a reminder there. And then if you do go insane in the game, you can flip it over to remind everyone that you are indeed insane. Okay? And everyone will be dealt, you shuffle up this spell deck, give 2 players to each card. Or give 2 cards to each player. So I'm going to just kind of remove these out of the way a little bit, just so I can show you the gameplay a little bit easier. Okay. The other thing we're going to do here is we have 22 location cards. I'm going to shuffle these all up. The clock tower will be the first location, so you set that aside, you shuffle them all up, and then you play with a certain number of locations for the number of players. If we're playing with a 3-player game here, we would choose 10 of these randomly, and then have the clock tower on the front there. And we would be ready to go. The first player would take the first player token and the investigator marble. And on your turn, basically what this is it's kind of a push your luck game a little bit. But what you're trying to do is each of these locations will have, after the clock tower, some of them will have, well, all of them have some sort of special thing that will limit you or impact the way that that round is played. So it starts out quite simple here with the clock tower. And if whoever is going to win this round will get 6 points. Okay, the object of this game is we are all trying to stop this from happening, right? And the world ending, basically. And so what we're doing is we're going from site to site. The best investigator will win the game. Whoever has acquired the most points, that is, as long as the world does not end. The world ends when there are three green marbles in this tower. And as soon as the third one comes out, if we have not gone through all of these locations, we lose. Now, the interesting thing is if you've gone insane, your goal kind of changes and you are, well, insane, and you are trying to summon the end of the world. And so if you are insane, you no longer are going to be rolling the dice, as I will show you here in a second. You will be simply pulling one of these horrors or tentacles from the tower, hoping, amongst all hope, that you create the end of the world by pulling one out and having the third green marble fall. That's the only way you can win if you're insane. If a sane person pulls it and the green marble falls down, well, I'm sorry, insane person, and everyone, because everyone loses. So, but really, really cool game here. What you're going to do is you're going to roll the dice. And from the 5 different dice, you need to lock in at least one of these each time. And what I'm trying to do is lock in a gate, heart, and mind, and then get the highest number I can possibly get for the discovery dice here. So for this roll, not a bad first roll. I have a 1 and a 2, which correlate to the symbols here, the gate and the heart. I do need a mind. If I don't get a mind, I will fail this location, and I will need to draw a horror from the tower. So we'll lock in those two, give it another roll here. Okay, well, I have a 2 4s and a 6. Again, I have not rolled 2 5s, so I can't claim one of the things here. You do have spell cards that we started right with. And if you look at these, they're not double-sided, but double-sided in the means that if you're sane, you can do this. And if you're insane, it has a different ability. So at the start of your turn, so we've already started turn, so we can't play this, but the lowest discovery total will win this location instead. Or you ignore any madness marbles that fall before you draw a horror, so that could be good. Keep us sane here. And we can get more spell cards with certain marbles that fall from the tower. We'll get that in a second. So for this roll, though, I don't want to keep the 4s. I want to keep the 6. That's a nice high number. Roll these again. Ooh, look at this. Interesting. So I did not get a mind, but look at this. I rolled 2 5s. So what do I want to do here? So I can come over here, and so you can get things where you can cancel other people's pulls of the horrors or other people's spell cards. I can steal someone's insane spell card from insane person. I can make a spell marble. So the white marbles, when we acquire those, we get new spell cards. But if I have some, I can move them down here for victory points. Well, I don't have that. Really, the reroll ones are the only ones that are going to be really the best for me. So I got this last chance here. If I would fail, I'd be able to roll again. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep the 5. Look at that. I was not able to get the mind that I needed, but luckily I rolled 2 5s, giving me this last chance. So re-roll to succeed. So I'm going to just kind of flip that over and hope I get a mind here. No luck. Okay, well, you know what that means. To the tower. Now, of course, this will be the first one, so I don't think anything too exciting will happen. Look at that. no marbles, okay? And then it would go to the next player. And we would hold on to that token so we would know where we're at, but we would go clockwise. The person would take this marble because I wasn't successful, just to kind of keep track. This is going to, well, let's see. We'll just show you another. So let's say I re-rolled this actually, and I was able to get a mind. The mind would go here. I was successful. I add these two numbers, which is 11. Pretty darn good. So I'm in pretty good shape. So then it would come to the next player. So the person would remove these, pass these dice over, and we know that the current number to beat is 11. And then the next player would go. And that's how the game is played. And you're going to keep passing this along. This person rolled 2 5s, so they would be able to come over and claim one of these. Now these can only be used once per round. That one was already used, but they could take this little guy, re-roll to beat the leader. So in this case, if they were to be successful after the end of the round, before they declare victory, let's say this person had 10, they were 1 away, well, they could then re-roll these in hopes of getting some higher numbers. No luck there. And then I roll this one. Didn't happen, but it's an extra little thing there. So very, very fun kind of gameplay there. And then the really coming to here, because some, all of the marbles in here are not bad. So as we go ahead and pull more and more of these, you're going to have more probability of marbles falling. Okay, so what do we get here? If the marbles fall on your turn, usually they would come to that player, unless there's some spell card that's associated with it. But let's say this person had failed and they were pulling marbles here. The blue marbles are interesting because they actually are worth 3 points. So the way, again, we get points is by being the best investigator and winning the round. So we have these, they range from like 6 to 12 points. Each blue marble will give me 3 points. The white marbles, for each white marble, I get to draw a cool new spell card, which can be very beneficial throughout the game. And if I use Forbidden Knowledge later on, I could then move those spell marbles down here for more victory points. The red marbles, however, are madness. They represent madness. If you have 4 marbles, you are driven insane, and you are now trying, and that cannot change, you will remain insane, and now you're trying to pull that 3rd green marble. And trying to make sure the other players don't win. There are ways to get rid of madness, give the other players different things like that. If you're familiar with other Smirk and Dagger games, there's a lot of kind of take that element to the games, and no change with these spell cards and the interactions with those spell cards. But very, very enjoyable. It takes, 40 minutes to an hour, depending on that. The locations you can, you could shorten these and different things, but they're kind of made so that you are dealing with this tower, right? And there's a certain timing element to it. So I would recommend kind of sticking with those, but you can make the game more difficult or make it easier with various things there. So that's the game. Again, the quality of the components are actually really good. There is some warping that's happening with these a little bit. Not too big of a deal. Again, be aware of the dice thing, but that can be kind of cleaned up, and they work just great. But the real kind of fun party element to this, right, is the marbles. And getting the different marbles and trying not to get madness tokens, but it actually wouldn't be such a bad thing to get 2 new spell cards and 3 victory points. That's not bad. Although I did get another madness back here. So it's kind of that other interesting element where it's kind of like, I kind of want to pull from the tower. I need some more spell cards, or I haven't won any of these location cards, so maybe I just want to pull as much as I can, make some bad decisions with my dice, maybe go insane, and then I can, I do have some spell cards that will maybe help me pull more of these at the same time, and trying to get one of those green marbles, which we haven't actually seen yet in this video, but indeed there are 3 in there. And as they come out, you will place them on the 3 locations around the base. And that is Tower of Madness, my friends. Really, really interesting push your luck type game. I love the tower element, and I enjoy the dice games and kind of that push your luck mechanics of, I have 2 6s. Well, I'm going to pull those now and just hope that I get what I need there. Or maybe you focus on getting those and you're left with, a 1 and a 4. And so you're not going to likely win that. But, maybe you had the new findings and you're able to, hey, wait, I've actually discovered something else, and you can become the lead investigator. And then, oh wait, but you have that plan, and then someone plays another card and choose the same player to take any marbles that fall. And so, maybe you have 2 madness tokens already, you don't want to go insane, so you play that, and then all of a sudden you're giving 3 madness marbles to another player. So there's a lot of fun elements that come from Tower of Madness. Of course, the most fun coming from the tower, but the dice mechanics and the interaction with the spell cards, everything works really, really well. Another great game from Smirk and Dagger Games. Go ahead and check it out if that is something that looks fun to you. And that, my friends, is how Lou sees it.